All right, we don't show now, we say we don't show back. In midst of every, we still not say we get to cool the temper. Because at the end of the day, our dialogue, now they make things, they go front. All right, we don't work enter inside this segment when we say we want to chook eye for another thing where they cause wahala, where they cause bege for this our Obodo Nigeria. We want to look at from the divide. Most recently, you go hear the kind of work when Buba Marwa, where be the before governor of Lagos State. But right now be the number one man when it comes to NDLEA. And since he entered that position, not be small work he don't do. We even hear the one what happened yesterday where they say a pastor said they discharge, they go crusade for Nairobi. But they call cash and say he go full on the hand. Whether that be the ginger, we don't know. We know the one what happened with Kiari. But then again, people that they vex say the modus operandi of NDLEA in not to the sweet them for body. Say this one another level where we say go cause big for our Obodo Nigeria. But make it not be like say now only we talk one ogbonge man, Finny Edward Brisbane, go join us now, human rights lawyer and political activist. He go talk about before he go start to the chook mat for inside this matter. He get one report where we say we don't already chook our eye to give you understanding to what we want to talk about. So just sit down, chillax, make we see what the report talk. Before we come back.
Nigerian Drugs Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) for recent times don dey enter people and celebrities them house anyhow. They arrest them sake of say them the reason say drugs dey their hand. As news enter say popular musicians them Zinolensky and Mohbad been enter NDLEA problem onto this drug matter so. He wish to ask whether NDLEA get the kind power where then they use enter people house anyhow without warrant. According to Section 41 of the NDLEA Act, them fit to enter and search any house without warrant. The Act talks say any officer of the agency wey get or wey no get warrant fit enter and search any land or building or carrier, including aircraft or motor or container or any other instrumentalities. He say as long as the officer get reason to believe say any crime dey happen for somewhere, them fit go raid the place. E dey interesting say if them get reason for suspicion, na enough ground for them to arrest anybody. That is to say, if them suspect say you commit any drug-related offense, them go arrest you. But somehow it makes sense small because if you look at how some drug offenses dey be, na something wey elements of surprise suppose dey, so that the criminals them no go sharply go hide all the evidence. And if you still look am small, warrants of arrest they waste time because too much protocol dey inside. And if it dey urgent to raid a building and arrest the criminals, and under the NDLEA Act, it also dey legal for them to seize any item or substance wey dem find. But however, the authorities suppose charge them to court within 24 hours for any offense. If not, the arrest go against their fundamental human rights. This one dey for Section 35 of the 1999 Nigerian Constitution. So last, the question wey we dey ask be say, wetin be the way forward from this matter so, and how we fit find a better way to handle am?
Let's go. All right, welcome back again. I believe say you don't see things when it be say NDLEA, the kind of stunts they don't pull of late, even the one we happen for Lagos Island. But then again, to put a better perspective to everything where we dey talk, help me welcome no other person than Finny Edward Brisbane. To put Matt, now human rights lawyer and also a political activist. Welcome, Mr. Finny.
Thank you, Ochiko. Thank you, everybody.
Now, sharply to just jump, enter. You don't see the divide. People there of the opinion say NDLEA, the modus operandi, be like say they get us in the be like say it be like victimization, that they target some people, they go enter them unlawfully. Why other people there of the opinion say NDLEA that they try well? Now, where be your own opinion? Where be your stand on top of this whole matter?
Okay, first things first. I think the way the country be, a lot of Nigerians they angry with governments generally, and so any agency will collect from that hits, whether they do their work well or not. Now, a lot of Nigerians before now never still really understand the work of NDLEA and how they're supposed to do their work. But with the coming of the new chairman, Marwa, and the way they pull their stunts of recent, Nigerians, they're surprised. I think that's what I'm going to use. Nigerians, they're surprised with the way they handle their activities, which is actually backed up by law. It already did there for their acts. Section 41 say the visual busting anywhere. If they get that, if they get that inclination, if they get that suspicion, say drugs they somewhere or they use drugs somewhere, the visual busting at any time, run with they won't run. But now my question, I say, before we begin attack them, all the people who we don't hear say they don't bust it. You get anyone where they never see drug for their hand. Now, that are the question. And that are the question when Nigerians suppose ask. Because now, whether you like them or not, as with every law, if you bust into my house, you harass me. At the end of the day, you search, you don't see anything. I feel approach the courts to make sure, okay, I get redress for the embarrassment, for the harassment, my neighbors because they see me funny, and all of that. I feel approach the courts. But with the way things done, they happen of resets. Not everything, to be honest with you, it gets everything. We need to check agencies of government, quite all right. But not be everything now we suppose they attack. Before we go attack everything, we need to do our checks properly. Whether you like them or not. Drugs in any society are very bad thing. We don't see what the drugs they do for Mexico. We don't see what the drugs they do for Colombia. We don't see what the drugs they do for parts of the US. We don't see what the drugs they do all over the world. And if we don't begin we don't start this fight on drugs now, it will be issue. You remember what happened with NAFDAC some years ago when the late Dora Akinyele take over the agency. Now, before Dora Akinyele entered the agency, and before she take over, the agency is just there very calm, very quiet. People don't really know what they happen and all that. But a lot of people be there. A lot of people come there shocked with the way NDLEA. I think I get a playback. So
okay. Oga Finny, sure you hear me, Sha?
Yeah, they hear you.
All right, so
I get playback.
You get feedback from your side, Abi?
No, from the studio.
Okay, they go try sort that one out. My own question is, some people they also talk say, it be like saying now only the end users, now NDLEA, they really they clamp down on. Say why they no really go to the source of these things? People where they finance these things, because these drugs not be small money that they use. How did they enter the country? Which places did they pass? Not be airport or seaport, or how these drugs they enter the country where they know they fit catch them before they don't reach people's house, where they bust into people's houses. Now, waiting some people they talk. What do you think about that one?
But investigations will take different levels. Investigations will take different levels. Like say now only the end users. Now we don't say that the attack of recent. If are they different? Thank God say we don't see. A police oga, the former police oga, Abakari himself. Thank God say we don't see this today NDLEA matter. We don't see for the past few months. If we check them very well, and interestingly, I don't follow these people the activities of recent. I don't see how they catch. Okay, but about a month or 2 months ago, when somebody tried bribe NDLEA officials for airports, and the NDLEA official not collects the money, they still arrest the person. Not be all the.
Go ahead. Hello, Oga Finny, you ready? Okay, we'll go try connect back to Oga Finny because we still get some kind of questions we go like throw out there regarding this whole situation of the NDLEA on how they do their waka, how they carry out their operations. People, they on the divide say, okay, be like say they overdo them. You go bust inside person's house. Oga Finny bring out one very, very important point. Say, if you bust into my house and you not see anything, waiting go be the next move after. Say the person where you bust into your house, you go compensate them. Abi, he go fit sue the NDLEA, go court for busting into your house without finding anything. So most of these conversations, now people do, because we don't see cases where they crash some people,
They carry them, go, they parade them for social media. At the end, they say they were free.
But
You understand?
if you still listen with your God Brizzy still talk, still on the contrary, say by law.
By law.
The law empower NDLEA, say they can carry out operation once they sense, once they get suspicion, once they get information, say illegal drug, they is certain place. They get the right
to enter,
bust that place at any time, even as far to plane maker put on the Gudu.
Yeah.
They fit enter plane at any time, pause the plane, say not fly. We
They
hear say
check.
something they go check. They fit enter anywhere. So the law empower them to that capacity. Say they fit do that kind of thing. So based on that, I really feel say they fit really do anything at any time. So now, like you talk, whether if they can find out, say, okay, nothing really happened. Even if we look Obodo Ibo self, at least, even if we never reach there, but with the same for movies, Discovery channels and other crime and investigation, so they bust some people house like that.
Yes.
They'll find out, say the person, he really they innocent. They go apologize, say sorry. Now based on a tip off, now make we come like this. But we find out, say nothing like that. They go apologize, they go move. Anything where they destroy, they go fix them back. Then they go move. So I cannot really
Is that
see
the
and
case
say you're
here
supposed to
also?
stretch them. They go say, oh no, I must sue now. Their job.
No, but you know, say some people feel day on their right. Say, you bust into my house, you not see waiting you find. I feel sue you for is it not possible?
Yeah, better.
Finny don't tell you already, say get the right
Give
to
the law empower the person to do that thing.
Okay, so
Just
Oga Finny, why you they answer the question very quickly? You know, I want to know, as a human rights lawyer, where you be say you be, you feel say the way we NDA, we don't see for social media when some people when they won't enter the house they go live. I will see the way they drag with them, the tussle and all that rough handling and all of that. You feel say in any way the NDLEA they
infringe on
the fundamental human right of those people. Then we be say they come arrest.
Your act, the NDLEA Act, not give any power. I don't read the NDLEA Act back to back. The NDLEA Act not give power to begin the harass. They harass people when they want to arrest, except there is a threat of violence or aggression. When there is no threat, when the person they comply with what they do, okay, you don't bust into the house, the act don't give you that power, you they search and all that. Make the person still do a live video so that you know, these things are normal. For Abuja, federal road safety guys, they wear camera for body. They wear camera for body. That matter to show say okay, what did they do? Maybe what did they do? not the art of law and all that. And so they still check waiting passengers they do or waiting drivers they do. So I believe say there's no law yet in the country. There is no law yet in Nigeria for police, NDLEA, army or whatever. There is no law yet in the country that states that I should not video you when you are doing it.
Oga Finny, we don't see that one happen live where the celebrity or the person they do live video and they tell us to make it off that phone. They slap her. Say waiting and make and they stream while they do their investigation. So that kind of thing will happen now. And in the end, they no can see waiting they define.
A lot of the times you don't see them happen, then a lot of them they don't release them later.
Yes.
On. So that means say they don't see anything for their hand. So waiting you get to they not infringe on their human rights, so.
Exactly. See, I don't they shout and say, and many of my colleagues don't they shout and say, something happened to you. Something happened to you. You go rock on social media. Aside coming to social media, there is one very important move you need to make. You still need to approach the court. No matter how. I understand that Nigerians don't give up hope on the judiciary. A lot of Nigerians. Then I think it's an issue of knowledge. But whether you like them or not, you still have to approach the court. Get redress for what has been done to you. Get redress from what has been done to you. You go social media, you go complain, finish, and that is all. So how do you now want, how you don't want to know we can begin to check the activities of these guys? Lawyers know we just approach courts when they're not they represent anybody, when they're not they represent anybody. Lawyers, guys, they represent person. And now when you come, now lawyers go to represent you. There are hundreds of thousands of lawyers in this country. They call them to buy every year. And because of these cases, now make lawyers they are available. There are a lot of lawyers that when go take up these cases pro bono.
So you they talk saying such cases many people sue NDLEA to court for infringements of their fundamental human rights.
So that make court help you interpret their act. The act give them power to they do all those things where they do. The act, of course, give them power to bust into your house anytime. When they when they're suspicious of the fact, say, okay, you get drugs for your house and all that. But what of the harassment? The act don't give them that power to the harass. When there is no, when there is no threat of aggression or violence, they act don't give them that power.
Yes.
You don't give them that power. So whether you like it or not, these things are balanced. These things are balanced. Most times, see, I think whether you like them or not, as much as we use the social media, it should not be only on lawyers when they read some of these authorities, when they read some of these regulatory authorities. Nigerians need to read their constitution. Nigerians need to read this police act. We need to read the NDLEA act. Once you know your right, it will be difficult for people to begin infringe on your rights. It not go take you time to read these books. Read these books. It not go take anything. Not go take anything. Now, waiting up with just the advice every particular.
Okay. Oga Edward, looking at some of the videos where we don't see so far and how the NDLEA, you don't talk them according to their own act, they get power to bust into houses in case they get suspicion. Now, when they talk about the way they parade these people, you go see some boys, they go sit down they'll put them to sit down for floor, they bring out the drugs they show for camera. They go even put, as the recent one we see, that pastor where they catch, they give am board, make it whole, put in name, in address, in village name, where he come from, make it whole and say in carry drugs. Now, the reason why they bring this up, because of the situation with Abba Kyari, and people they talk say they don't see Abba Kyari carry cardboard, put in name, put in village local government, sit down for floor, they put the drugs for in front. Are we doing double standards when it comes to that point also? Make we hear what if you talk about that.
I never said that they are local governments.
Not true. We see them, they put them local government, he put in local government area there.
The local government, they age.
In age, everything.
The thing I say, this parading of suspects, now, we don't realize now the problem of most of our agencies, police, they do ESS, they do everybody now don't do one. And most times at the end of the day, because if you arrest me, and you never finish your investigation, you got to parade me. At the end of your because you have defamed me, whether you like it or not, you don't destroy my personal, you don't destroy my profile.
Yes.
You know. So I think like since the beginning of this interview, I don't hit them. Nigerians need to know the power of the courts. Now, secondly, for the Abba Kyari situation, of course, from our opinion, and I don't want to make her look like that they make excuses. So I will try balance.
Oh, yeah.
First things first. Some of these people are not as known as Abba Kyari and the rest. You get times when you say you are arrested, you go to court and all that. You are given bail on self-recognition. You know, self-recognition and say, okay, based on say you did very, very popular, or you did very dignified, and
yes,
is that what he is? But you did very popular and all that, and so we not believe say you will jump bail. No matter how you be, we will always check on you and all that. So they will give bail on self-recognition. You know, so maybe not what they play on, but all still, right. Like I said, wait to. I say I will balance them.
Oh yeah.
I think. Whether you like them or not, there is no Nigerian that is more Nigerian than any other Nigerian. There is no Nigerian that is more Nigerian than any other Nigerian. I think if you are doing one thing for one person, you have to do it for another person.
That's so.
Thank you. This is not the ways we fit to get confidence.
Thank you, Oga Finny. You did one very critical one. I beg, what's it be the quantity of any substance when it's supposed to see for person in hand before they go talk, say, oh, this person don't feed the law. Because it be like, say, for instance, cannabis.
Consumers supposed get hand. Yeah. Because people do have the opinion, say, as a consumer, I get what you supposed to take legally. And once it pass that quantity, now then it go dey illegal.
So it ain't legal at all to take any kind of quantity or to hold any substance at all where they illegal?
They get illegal drugs when the law already say these ones are illegal drugs, these ones are contrabands. So no matter the quantity,
na illegal drug.
Okay.
Yes, na illegal drugs. But they get other pharmaceutical products. When it be say no matter what it be, the smallest quantity when you get or whatever, you guys get doctor's prescription.
Okay.
No matter what it be, you guys get doctor's prescription.
Thank you.
No problem.
No, as far as say, I want to wrap up. Most times, I don't think saying about the consumption. Now about the fact that you even know them. It ain't your possession. It ain't your possession. I think what better go happen. I say the amount of drugs maybe you will fee can tell on the kind of sentence, the kind of judgment you get.
Okay.
Thank you, well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Oga Finny Edward Brizibe. We'd like to say thank you for your time.
And then
say you carry give us.
When they come when I go follow on a fight with that.
No,
wahala.
Anytime you call, we go.
We'll carry you enter studio.
Thank you, Oga.